Hello, welcome to Berardi and Cook from the Ought to Know Better podcast. I'm Smarty, and tonight I'm joined by Luke at the minute, and at some point when they get their acts together, we'll have Simon and Brolin will be along as well. I think Simon's been doing his hair or something, so he tells us.
He did say he did an haircut, didn't he? So
he's sporting a new fro, so he'll be along at some point.
He's very proud of it. So if anybody likes Simon's hairdo tonight or don't like it, then chip in and tell him.
Absolutely. Let's. In fact, I tell you what, we'll rate it out of 10 whenever he appears.
Yeah,
we'll give him a rating out of 10.
Hair a rating. Rate the afro.
Right, mate. What do we reckon to that then?
I mean,
I don't even know where to start with that.
You take it, don't you? It was a lackluster performance, I would say, but when you're playing relatively poorly, I think in comparison to some of the performances, but still grinding out a win. You got to be happy with that, aren't you?
Yeah, you can't make too many clear cut. So, I mean, the performances we've had against Tottenham and obviously Burnley, they were great. And sometimes it's just scrappy wins. I mean, definitely the first 12 minutes, I would mark it down. I would do it minute by minute. 12 minutes, Southampton were all over us. Like, I did actually think that if they could have frigging finished some of the chances, would have been under by a few goals. Really late up into first half. They were played really well.
They looked threatening, mate. They did that first 5 or 10 minutes keycard to make some important saves, and I think he shut a lot of people up on Twitter. I think as well because of those important saves. So, hey, I thought there was some good performances in there. I thought there was
absolutely.
I thought there were some tied performances as well. To be fair,
surprised with the team selection as well. Would you say?
I 1.5. Yeah, I spoke to Stats before the game. I says, how would Liam Cooper come in and force Pascal Struijk straight out? Which, it's obvious why, because he's a club captain. But has he been a more consistent performer than Pascal Struijk this season?
I think over season probably, but Struijk hasn't played that long as he's been a bit of a mixed role. I'm not saying he's played better than Struijk because I think Struijk's been absolutely fantastic with Llorente, and they would be my partnership, into next season definitely. But
where does that leave Robin Koch then? Do you think he's sort of first reserve in centre back and in?
Well, you don't know. One of them might get a bit of bad form and Koch comes straight in, or we might see Koch and Llorente, or Koch and Struijk. You don't know, do you? We don't know. Yeah. We're not masters of football like Mr. Bielsa, but we do have a guest waiting for us. If you'd like to introduce him, Luke, and bring him in.
Yeah, we've got Liam here from the... What is it? I'll let him introduce it. I've forgotten the name of him. Hi, Liam. How are you doing? The Saints.
Hi, guys. It's Liam from the Saints here. And thank you guys for bringing me on today.
No, thanks for joining us.
Hang on. We've got somebody else here. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay. How are we doing,
Nice of you to join us.
It's not like you fuckers to go live on the dot. Normally got a bit of leeway.
We're a prompt outfit here, Jay.
Right, I see.
Professional outfit, this.
Yeah,
we have people waiting.
Yeah. Here we
Can't
go.
be waiting on part-timers.
Get pissed off.
How are you doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad.
Well, you've missed your opportunity because we've got our guests. So
it's all
take
right.
it away, mate. What do you think? What do you think to the game, Liam?
It was a game of two halves. I think it was exactly like the game at Ellen Road when we played you. Better in the first half. Didn't take the opportunities, and got outplayed in the second half. And it's a classic Bielsa masterclass, really. Leeds just obviously we were on the front foot in the first half, but Leeds just soaked it in the second half and much better than us, and Fulham deserved the win.
I wouldn't say much better. I definitely think it was 50-50 myself. I think in the first, like I was saying earlier, just as you were in the backstage area, in the first 20 minutes or so, I thought Southampton had the better of us, definitely. They definitely started the more spriteful of the two teams.
There wasn't a big difference between the two sides.
No. I think I just look at Leeds, I think it's just more quality there. Like, Saints, we're just, the first half of the season, fantastic. Like, if we played like we did in the first half of the season, I think we would have beat you lot pretty comfortably because both sides weren't great. It was even though the game went quite quickly, it was a poor game, lacked quality, and at the end of the day, when you don't take your chances, you don't win games, and that's exactly the problem with Saints at the moment.
Yeah, you were doing really well at that season.
What's gone wrong with Saints? Because you were on a really good run at one point. What happened? Where did it fall apart?
I'd love to know myself, to be honest. It's just, I think the way we play, we haven't got the depth of the squad to be able to play like that at 38 games a season, even more in the FA Cup and League Cup. Yeah, we struggled in that period between after the Liverpool game. The injuries were awful. We were naming a full academy on the bench. We lost key players at wrong times. Ings has been injured about 4 times this season. Obviously, losing Romeo against you lot with a broken ankle. It's just coming all the time. The first half of the season. Yeah, like the first half of the season, we weren't getting injuries. We were able to rotate the squad, and we weren't playing Saturday, Tuesday, and our squad can't afford to play Saturday, Tuesday, unfortunately. And that's where we need recruitment in the summer, and we won't get it, unfortunately.
Do you not think?
Yeah. Jamie? Did you have a question for Jay?
This must be a setup.
Oh, isn't your dad that Leeds player, Tom Brolin, isn't it?
Yeah, not quite, mate. Not quite. Listen,
I've been trying to remember that for the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely dead ringer.
Sean Dyche and Jimmy Neutron here trying to take piss out of me. You know what I mean?
We had to make him write it down so he remembered it.
Yeah, I know. I have a memory of a brainfish sometimes. I forget what I meant to say.
Mate, I wish I had his money. Tell you that.
Where do you see yourself needing to strengthen, Jamie, next season then?
Fullbacks. Yeah, you see today we're playing Salisu as a centre back at fullback, and we're trying to introduce different systems. Like we're trying to play a 5 at the back with Jeppe at left wing back. It's awful. Bertrand leaving at the end of the season. We need 2 left backs. We need another right back because it's just awful at the moment. We struggle with depth, and we haven't got the financial. Well, we do. We just have an owner who doesn't really care about the club and won't invest. So, that's.
You've got some quality players. You've got some really good players.
We do.
Shea Adams for one. You didn't give us him, did you? Sods.
I know. Thing is, when we were saying about it in January, I think Leeds were like offering 20 million, and at the time I was like, take the money. He didn't score a Premier League goal, but then look at it, it's like we just wanted him to success so much and succeed so much, and it hasn't happened with him. He isn't a clinical striker. He isn't a striker who's going to produce us get up to Europe. Really, I love Che, but he's not it.
He's still a young lad, though, isn't he? He has got massive potential as far as the youth sort of thing is concerned. Whenever I've seen him, his movement's good, and I mean he scored. Well, he scored. He had a few good chances on goal today. A few very, very good shots.
This is the problem with Che. It's just inconsistency. The finishing, sometimes it's world class, and next minute he misses an open goal. It's a bit like Shane Long. Yeah. Like a few years ago, he was unstoppable, then turned to shite. And this is what happened. This with Che Adams. Once again, he'll turn world class, and next game he's awful. It's just we haven't got a consistency like a Danny Ings, like where he'll score a couple of goals, and 2 minutes later he'll be injured for like a couple of months, and we just haven't got. If we lose him, then we're relegation. Like at the end of the day, we haven't got players. We can't replace players. Like if Bamford gets injured for you, he's a class player, but you have Rodrigo. You can just fill him in. It's easy. But if Ings gets injured, we have Obafemi. Like it's the difference in class. The difference between us and Leeds.
Do you have any worries about holding on to any key players like Ings and Ward-Prowse? Because there's got to be bigger clubs sniffing around, aren't there?
Oh, 100%. Ward-Prowse, not so much. Even though he's a Pompey fan, he's Saints through and through. He signed a 5-year contract last summer, I think, or this summer. Danny Ings has only got a year left, and obviously with Kane potentially leaving Spurs, there's something there. It's like with Vestergaard as well, he's only got a year left. So like, a lot of these players just want to. I don't blame them for wanting to leave, be bigger players. Like it's the same with Højbjerg going to Tottenham. He only had a year left on his contract. He showed he wanted to leave, got the money, go. But things with Ings, this contract situation with him's been going on for so long. Like if he wanted to stay and signed it by now, it really gets the fans worried when you don't sign a contract and it takes too long. And you think he just definitely wants to leave.
I suppose it's hard to back a player as well when they're looking about with a contract and stuff.
It's just frustrating, to be honest. It's like you think one minute Hassan will keep saying in his contract in his press conferences that he's like, oh yeah, he'll definitely sign the contract. Stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but you can say that, Ralph, but he can change his mind and be like, the Spurs want him, and then he'll go. It's a matter of Danny wanting to stay or Danny wanting to go, and it's his choice at the end of the day. The club can't force him to stay. He's got to make a decision. It's got to be soon.
Do you think that
you can't let a player play for free?
Do you think that what the manager's trying to do is good and he just doesn't have good enough players, or do you think the guys clueless?
100%. Your statement is correct. Like the end of last season and the start of this season were perfect. You think we're going on to big things here, but then, like I said, injuries, wrong players. We haven't got. We had a press conference there. We had really good news about practice. Our new sponsorship deal is going to be bringing a bit more money than we usually have. But then we have a press conference, Ralph saying, well, we're going to be looking for players who we can sign under 10 mil. And that's relegation stuff. Like Sheffield United spent more than us and they've gone down.
They're about the cream of the championship, or not so much cream of the championship.
Exactly. They're going down spending 23 million on Brewster. Well, we're spending
like a curdle.
Well, we're getting Theo Walker on loan. It's not a lack of ambition from the club. It's a lack of the owner doesn't care.
Right. Yeah. Would you prefer to keep hold of Ings, or would you like to see him go through to the Euros? Given his obviously injury and all that sort of stuff.
Honestly, I think I want him to go to the Euros. I think he deserves to go to the Euros. I'd be very disappointed if Southgate picks Watkins over Bamford or Ings. I'd be really, really frustrated. Then at the same time, I'd be like, he needs a pre-season with us. But then it's like, it's just difficult, to be honest. A lot of players I'd love to go to the Euros, like with Prowsey. He's played 78 games in a row for us, playing 90 minutes, and it's like, yeah, fine. But then he'll probably end up getting injured with England, and that's what it's worries me a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be bad for a lot of players, isn't it, with the weird shortened pre-season we had.
Exactly. Like,
weird season.
We only had 4 weeks of pre-season last season. Now we're only getting like 3 weeks because of the Euros. I think we're okay because a lot of our players won't possibly go, but a lot of our key players will. Whereas clubs like the big 6 clubs, they'll just have a like 2-week pre-season. It's a difficult one because obviously I'd love our players to go to the Euros, but if they didn't, I'm not bothered because I'd rather they had a break and refresh for next season.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So with regards to Leeds United and stuff, I mean, we were fairly optimistic about this game. I'll be honest with you. Well, based on our current form and all that sort of stuff. Jack Harrison had a really, really good game today, as did Bamford and a couple of other players. Is there anyone that you'd probably like to get hold of out of our squad? Any players you think that they're standout players for you?
If I was able to transfer a squad over, then I'd have Leeds in a heartbeat. Yeah,
all the squad,
the whole squad. You can't have all.
Give me the whole squad, mate. Honestly, obviously, I think realistically, a player we could probably get is Jack Harrison because he's on loan from City. He's a bit of a weird one, Harrison, because I've seen a lot of hate from him from Leeds fans on Twitter and stuff. And I'm thinking he's probably consistent player. His performances show that because he's only missed 2 games in like last 3 years, and they're both against Man City. Yeah. And he's a fantastic player. Obviously, what is it? Are you guys going to get him on a permanent, or is he just going to keep coming on loan until his contract runs out?
Obligation to buy, 10 mil or 11 mil or something
by the end of the season.
Yeah. So we've basically got to buy him this season.
Yeah, I think that.
There's no obligation.
That's quality business from you.
Yeah, it's an option to buy, but providing everyone's happy, they won't loan him again to us. He's been here 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bielsa loves him, obviously, to have him 3 years in a row.
Fantastic player.
Fantastic player. Leaps and bounds. As for like as for seeing people slating him on Twitter, well, that's where all lunatics go to hang out, innit? All crazy
Yeah, no.
fans on Twitter.
Especially
Luke and Smarty.
Fantastic. I think ever since Llorente come in for you as well, I think he started his first proper game against us when he beat us 3-0.
Yeah,
and
he got injured.
dropped since. Yeah, when like the half, we obviously played better in the first half, but when I looked at the changes, like with Berardi and who else come on?
Sturrock came on.
Stroik. I was just thinking, I'm like we should take advantage of this. Berardi hasn't played all season. Then like they actually played better when Llorente and Phillips come off, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Like, we should be taking advantage of that.
We were thinking that too.
It was a strange one because when I saw the team, obviously Casilla came in and Cooper came in.
Yeah, no, with him as well.
I don't
why every time we were like peppering shots, which was obviously our game plan. None of the bloody shots were going on target. I can't remember the last shot we had on target except from Adam's header in the first minute. I'm like, yeah, it's all right to pepper shots, but if they're not on target, it's bloody useless. I
did have a nightmare freakish like what the gear doing sort of thing when Kiko came flying out of his off his line again. I had a playoff set all over it.
That was the same with the Bamford one where he was through on goal, and I'm thinking, how the hell we only got one defender back from a corner, and our keeper like doing a bloody run back and stuff like that. He doesn't know how to stay on his line or come off, and I'm thinking. I think a lot of the commentators were saying that Bamford was being honest, and obviously he was fair play to him for being honest. But I don't really think it was much of a penalty anyway. Like wasn't much contact for him to go down enough. But obviously, I'd understand if it was a penalty. But yeah, I don't think it really mattered in the end anyway because I could only see Leeds scoring in the second half. What was that?
Feedback from you.
Goal in the end anyway, straight afterwards.
Yeah. You know, obviously, I think Bamford's really, really surprised me this season. I think I was saying in like my predictions earlier this season, I wasn't sure if Bamford would be good enough for the Premier League, and you know, he's proved me wrong, and I'm glad he has because he's had his opportunities, and you know. Championship, he was class. He's just one of those strikers you never know whether he's going to finish it or spur it wide, and I'm kind of glad he's really done well, please, this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Perfect.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Liam.
Yeah, thank you guys for bringing me on.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, and guess who's here with his new hairdo?
You got some new hair.
You got some new hair. Here he is, look.
There he is.
It is legitimate shirt as well. Look, that's a backwater beast. Is that? How we doing, mate? All right.
Tell you what, you're looking good.
I'm really,
Can we all rate Simon Johnson's new hairdo, please, in the comments? If you want to give
we
us
have actually had a few comments. Even last day. Kiko, massive surprise, but luckily on a couple of moments of madness. True, mate, absolutely. Paul saying Kiko was a nightmare first half. I think Coops played to him a line and did a second half. I expect Kiko to leave after playing this game.
I don't think. I thought Kiko was great in the first half. He made some
really important saves. Like Dave said,
game.
apart from the absolute madness when he started running out like a flipping dipstick, I thought he had a pretty good game, to be honest. So maybe a little bit harsh, Paul, I don't know.
Bale's already said he wants to see him finish the season in goal, so I don't think Melier will come back in for the next game.
Keeper.
I reckon he is probably just giving him a send-off, though. But we'll see, won't we?
Yeah. It's probably the best thing for him and the club, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Simon, then, give us your thoughts, mate. How did Leeds perform tonight for you? Have we lost him?
I loved it.
Is he?
It's on Birmingham in tonight, and it's it's.
I thought we lost him for a second.
You know I did. I bloody loved it.
Am I in?
Yeah, you're here. We can see you. Go on.
No, I loved it. I thought it was a real professional performance, and I think, you know what, I love the way they're just not guns blazing straight away and using up all, well, I say using up all their energy. I think they could play 2 games without being fully blown out. But I thought they managed the game really well. I think they identified again that Southampton would weaken in the second half, and I think they that was the plan all along. And again, MB is just no fool, is he? You know, I think it was, for me. I look at it sort of like a boxing match where I don't know if I've used this analogy before, where some boxers will just let
Simon, you're really funny.
Out,
I don't know if you really. Can everyone else hear Simon all right?
Yeah,
but he's glitching a lot.
He's bitty, but I can make sense of him. You're all right, mate. You're back. Sorry, look, interrupted you then.
I think it's my internet, not yours. Sorry.
No, if you can hear me, fine. But yeah, some boxers will just sort of find a way into a fight and let other fighters punch themselves out. And I sort of thought that's the way the game panned out tonight.
I think we see a lot of teams, especially last year in the Championship, where they'd come for us, maybe the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, give everything, maybe try and get that early goal and then sit back. Unfortunately for Southampton, they couldn't finish the dinner tonight, let's be honest. They had a couple of good opportunities and they made absolutely nothing of it, did they? So yeah, it's interesting you say that. Keep your comments coming, guys, if anyone's got any. I'm not sure how many people are out there watching us at the minute. I don't get to see these numbers. You see, Mr. Minshall is in the driving seat.
6,422.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, but we do have another guest waiting.
Let's bring him in.
Big Lou, come on down. Oh, I don't like that. Hang on.
Hey up.
All right.
That's better. How we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah. How good? You all right, boys?
Yeah,
not bad.
Not too bad, thank you.
So, give us your thoughts on the game, Lou. What do you think?
Well, Bielsa sort of was treating it a bit like a friendly, really. It sort of had that sort of feel, didn't it? It was. I saw a funny take on Twitter. Somebody said they thought the reason Phillips came off was because Ward-Prowse was all over him. So I'm not really sure.
It must
about
be
that.
Yeah,
that's definitely why he took him off.
I must have missed that.
Yeah. Oh, Phillips was brilliant. I mean, for the first 20 minutes, I think Phillips looked like the only one that was interested, to be honest. But we grew into the game, like Simon said, it was a bit of a boxing match. We sort of had to wait for our moment, really, and it happened in the second half, which has happened quite a lot this season, hasn't it? Where we've a bit of a second half team. But I always felt we were going to win that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were moments where they looked like they might do something, especially in that first half. I think second half, I think they kind of run out of ideas and also fitness. I think that's definitely where our fitness came through and put them back in the box, so to speak. Jay, we haven't really heard much from you because obviously you were late, weren't you? Give us your thoughts, pal. Come on. What do you think?
We've heard your cat.
Yeah, we've heard your cat making some music in the background.
Call him the fucking alarm, that little shit. No, I mean it were a bit of
a pussy you're getting these days.
Oh yes,
you arsehole.
Yes.
I honestly don't know why I bother with this with you guys. Listen, I'm not here for this. I'll piss off and fucking pipe down.
He's fuming.
Listen, so aggressive, Thomas. Come on.
It were the cat's actually called us.
Anyway, it's better.
I don't know. It were a bit of the first half were definitely a bit workmanlike. I mean, I couldn't watch it properly or having to listen to it driving home. So I remember Harrison went in and I'm not actually. I remember Harrison went in wild and did a stupid tackle. Don't know where that came from. He doesn't normally get frustrated that easily, that quickly. But other than that, I don't really remember much of it other than thinking it's a bit crap, this. And then, I mean, overall, obviously, we won the game. We were better than them in the end, but I didn't think there were a big gulf between the two teams. I didn't think that there were anything particularly special about us tonight. I don't think that a lot of what we'd normally try was coming off. Rafinha didn't have a brilliant time. Harrison didn't have a great game. So, yeah, I think we did what we needed to. We're getting better at frustrating teams first half, and I think we believe now that we can outrun them and go and beat them later in the game. And I think that's a big factor in how our players changed and why it's changed. But yeah, I didn't think there were anything massively special about Leeds, but I did think we'd win, and I was pleased to see us get it done. So overall,
yeah, I was really confident. I think
that's massively important. Go on, sorry, Luke.
Sorry, go on, Simon.
Go on, Simon. You're right.
Go on, say your insight's more valuable than Luke's.
No, I was going to say. I think that's massively important. No, Jay, for the progress. So, you know, when they're trying things and it's not coming off and they're not performing to the level they can, and you still look semi-comfortable with what you're doing and not in any real danger. I think that's a good sign. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think probably early on in the season we may have gone a goal or two down. So for me, it shows massive progress in what they're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
Anyone else enjoyed the bit of rough and tumble that ensued? I think Llorente went on a bit of a mad mission, didn't he, and started flying into it. I love seeing that. Lou, have you got any standout performances for you? Any special mentions for any players?
It's a strange one, really. I'm not sure. I think Dallas was as good as he ever is. I just found the whole game a little bit bizarre. I don't know if the atmosphere sort of contributed towards some of the decisions in the game. The referee seemed to sort of react to every bloke in the crowd screaming at the referee, and he'd give a decision straight away. It was like a bit odd.
I'll tell you what.
It's not to do with me this time.
Tonight, innit?
Like a bloody zoo, this channel, isn't it?
Sam and his fucking cat. They're going to be pandas there. Oh, fuck's sake.
It looked like a panda if he keeps insulting me.
Anyway. No, carry on, Lou. Sorry, mate. What were you saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it didn't sound like 8,000 people. Basically, is what I'm getting at. It sounded like 8 people. Actually,
this size dog.
This stream is probably louder.
Yeah,
it sounds like somebody's got a pet parrot that they've taught to bark.
Is it a Chihuahua, Si?
Simon's missing a dog in the living room.
He hasn't even got a dog, it's not him. He's got a parrot.
No, I think, Lou, like you say, they want to go a few performances, but the maybe a referee influenced quite massively by a little tiny crowd. I did notice that there were a lot of shouting, and we didn't seem to be getting the right lot of decisions, and they were giving everything. There were a couple of dodgy shouts. How many of our lads have been trying on the alien flop? Has Bill been giving lessons out? That one where he flopped over in our penalty box, and he was just smiling, laughing. That were class. That the old alien.
I think even Dallas got a little flop in today as well.
He did.
So he's clearly been dishing out lessons.
That's it.
Robert's
that's
all they're doing.
I've had a message from Stu. Roberts' first goal this season, finally, and can we dream of playing in Europe? Simon, what do you make of Roberts? Do you reckon we should take the 10 mil from Newcastle, or do you reckon there's still a great player in there? Obviously, he's come from your neck of the woods originally. I think we keep hold of him and load him out if possible. What do you think, Simon?
Oh, sorry, Luke. I'm a little old here, and I'll
switched off, I think.
He's just staring into his eyes.
I've heard enough.
It's a tough one because I think I've been slightly harsh on him earlier on in the season. But the more he's played, he went. I think he had about an 8-game run, something like that, and he was doing some real quality things. And it just looked like the end product. And I just don't know how consistent he's going to be able to get in the next 1 or 2 seasons with that. But he's still only a baby, really. So that's a tough call. I'll probably maybe give him another season.
So if you were offered 10 million quid as a manager of Leeds United, would you take that then, or would you snub that and look to loan him out to the champ or something like that?
I think I wouldn't take that. I'd probably want him in and around the squad as well. To be fair, depending on the depending on what time he's coming in the summer, like. But I see something there, but he's just going to improve them, but pretty quickly because one.
What do you think his best position is, Simon?
Personally, I would say a number 10. But it just is that's such a luxury role, and he's got a great football brain. He sees things that other players don't see. It's just his execution that's letting him down right now. A lot says I'm just not sure he's going to be able to develop his game in the amount of time that he'll be given. I'm just not sure on that.
I'd keep him.
He's still only young, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a baby.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
From a professional's point of view, Si, I mean, obviously he's got the footballing brain. He's got it in here. Can the execution part be taught? Is that something that some of the coaches at Leeds could help him with, or is it something that he just hasn't got and that he never will have?
I'll be totally honest. Obviously I'm coaching now, and you can tell people and coach people where to be and what areas what you want them to see ball and giving.
We've lost him. We've lost Simon for a second. I'll just remove him for a second. And then we'll get him back in. I'm sure he'll rejoin when he gets back. But yeah, no, I think. I mean, obviously, I'm not professional, James, but I don't think you can.
Some would argue that, Luke. I think you're very professional.
Well, I am in some ways. I mean, but like, I don't think that you can teach something like that. I think what this point Simon was coming to was probably something I'd agree with. Is you're born naturally with that end product. And that little bit of something about you that makes you a little bit special. I think he's got something, but I just don't think the things he needs to learn can be taught, like Simon says, in a season or two, unless he's playing week in, week out, which I think would really benefit him. I do think he's a great player in there, and I think if he goes on loan to the Championship and has a fantastic season with a Brentford or somebody who's going to be pushing around the playoffs next season, he'll be probably worth double that next summer. Do you see what I mean?
I'd keep him, mate, but you know.
Do we keep him as a potential player, or do we keep him as an investment? That's the
what's
thing.
10 million buy these days, though?
I think it all depends who we bring in.
Exactly. And 10 million in the Premier League is absolutely nothing for the potential, like he's got. My only reason for asking is that. Go on, Lou.
Sorry, Lou.
Is he a second choice 10 though? I mean, what? I don't think there's a great deal in keeping him if Rodrigo's going to play 10. And Rodrigo is actually better up front, and you could see that by his finishes when he came on for Bamford the other day. Which I don't know if Rodrigo and Bamford can be in the same squad, which they're going to be, I think, with Rodrigo at 10 probably. So I feel like maybe Roberts would be wasted, but he's got such a lot of bad criticism, Roberts, and I've been one of them this year. And I think a lot of the good stuff he does is like largely forgotten a little bit. He plays a lot of really delicate passes. He gets some nice assists in the Championship. More so, I'm talking about for goals wise. He has scored a fair few important goals for Leeds, and I don't think
we spoke about this in the group, Lou. We spoke about it briefly about £10 million. If you're going to invest that £10 million into Robin De Paul or what's his name?
Rodrigo
De Paul. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Robbie De Paul.
Robin De Paul.
I'm on about the
Robin Van
Paul. Have you heard of Robbie Paul, the ex-rugby league player? Anyway, Rodrigo De Paul. So if you're going to invest that £10 million and spend it well, then by all means sell him for £10 million. But if you're going to take that £10 million and you're not going to spend that on a Pereira or somebody who's going to improve the squad, I think keeping him and loaning him out is a better option.
I think a top 6 Championship team, one that's going to be fighting up there.
Unless you need that 10 mil to make another transfer happen for a first team player, not somebody to be a squad player, then right. I think keep him unless you need that money. And I've said this before on the pod, but this is like his first full season that he's had in years. Like he's been injured like most of the time we've had him. He's missed half of his Leeds career sat on the sidelines. So
I remember when we signed him.
Yeah, and they were gutted.
Yeah. We didn't see him till season after.
About 6 months, yeah. I think though, like you were saying, Lou, like in some of the games, like he does good stuff, and his skill and his technique are good. It's just that when he doesn't score or he misses a sitter, especially, then all the focus turns to that, and he gets a load of stick. But he does do good things. He has got good passing range.
I think he's probably
good vision.
He's probably done just enough, hasn't he? And I think one of Koch and Llorente, probably by all accounts, was supposed to be the sort of first choice centre back partnership.
Yeah.
Like what Simon was saying, with a young player getting a run of games like Roberts had, Strauch has done the same. He's probably top of most Leeds fans' pecking order for first choice centre backs to partner Llorente. So I don't think Roberts has done enough to be first choice 10 or anything like that. But I'm saying some of the younger players can do enough to get in the squad if there's an injury and be a regular feature. Like I don't think we looked as good today with Coops there, and obviously I love Coops, but
yeah, I didn't.
Strauch and Llorente are the partnership that has been working really well. If you're going to sell Roberts for like 10 million or something like that, I'd rather maybe invest in a second proper defensive midfield player to replace Calvin for when he's injured. I think that would be somewhere we'd need to strengthen as opposed to the 10 role.
He doesn't want that though, does he? He said that he's happy with what he's got there.
I think he'll probably just use Robin Koch in that position.
I think so.
No,
and he's not done bad.
Sorry, you said you didn't think Cooper played that well tonight. I thought he was probably one of our better players. And just flying through the player ratings on SofaScore, what do you think they gave Liam Cooper's performance tonight out of 10?
Well, 7 maybe.
Probably a 7 because he didn't really do anything wrong.
8.1.
What?
Well, you'd say what, wouldn't you, you Cooper-hating bastard?
Of course I would. Yeah. I don't think he did particularly wrong, to be fair.
Sweden.
Fuck off, dickhead. Fuck off back to Burnley.
What I would like, I just want to get back to Roberts for 1 second. What I agree with totally with what you guys have said about him. Obviously, need to establish himself within a starting 11 somewhere, whether it's starting a lower league sort of Premiership team or whether it's Championship team. I would like to see him go somewhere where he can probably utilise his skills, the skill set he's got. And maybe if we arc back to Leeds with Chris Wood, he had, I think it was James Beattie that were part of the coaching staff at the time. He brought him on leaps and bounds, which is why I asked Simon the question is, can it be coached in? I'm obviously that deadly instinct that a striker needs. But knowing where to be, knowing where to position yourself, knowing what to look for, the little signs, and I suppose you can get better at shooting. Bamford has done for the last couple of seasons, but
that's fine.
But we've got a couple more questions flying in. Stu's come at us again. What we're looking forward to this summer? New players, new kit, or the fixture list? For me, it's getting back in the stadium, 100% first and foremost. And I'm sure Jay is. I don't know. I've not really spoken to Stu before, so I don't know what your position is. But as a season ticket holder, and I know Jay, Mr. Brolin is as well.
That's right. I get complimentary
so tickets. I can't wait to get back in. So, but you guys go. Luke, Stu, what are you looking forward to most next season?
Stu, Lou.
Big Stu.
Stu and Lou.
Big Stu.
It's not nearly as bad as calling fucking Liam Jamie, though.
You've turned him into a double act.
Did you?
Who called him Jamie? Me.
Twice. So Liam, all right, Jamie.
Too polite to correct you.
He still went, didn't he? But yeah, no. I think for me, it's about how looking at how we're going to improve as a squad. I think we know what the summer brings in terms of Bielsa's expectation. He flogs them, he gets them stupidly fit. But I think based on that, we'll probably look at doing a bit more business a little bit earlier in the window. I think the only sticking point with that is the European Championships in case we've got any European. In case we've got anybody at the Euros that we're looking at. So other than that, look everything. The fixture list doesn't matter. We have to play everybody twice. New kit. I think there's already been a couple of leaks of that. So. Yeah.
We're going to waste our money on it anyway. We're going to buy all 3 full kits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything different, Lou?
ideal scenario is the whole squad go to wherever they're allowed to go. Portugal, get Turbo, have a good one, good pre-season. I'm with you, Smarty, on this one with getting back into the stadium. I more so a few months ago, I was getting pretty sick of watching it on telly, and it was losing that buzz a little bit for me. I've forgotten what it feels like to go to football. I probably would have taken a Sunday league game, to be honest, at some point. So, for me, getting in the stadium, having a full, 12, 13 hours on the Raz, and just
now you're talking.
Maybe not just Ellen Road, the away day stuff as well. All of it. I just want it back now. So I think we don't really need to worry about recruitment. I think I'm not expecting more than 2 or 3 signings. I don't think, but just going to a football match. I'm pretty simple, really. That'll do me.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you're right. I think.
Sorry,
go on, mate.
No,
you carry on. You're all right.
Just one thing I wanted to just do really quickly is just fly around and just if you all just rate a player out of 10 and just see if we're on the same wavelength, really, of the players that played today.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Harrison then.
No. So I'll start with Kiko Casilla and I'll go with Big.
Right. I wanted to.
This is a thing that he started doing now, Smarty.
Well, if you watch the podcast, Smarty,
do you know what I mean?
If you watch them.
I do listen to him. I don't know what
So, Big Lou, I'll start with you, and we'll go with Kiko. Give him a score out of 10.
Of what I think he got or what I think he was?
Both. So, make an average.
I think he had a good game. I got a clean sheet. He's probably going to be an 8.3 or 4, something like that.
8.3 or 7.8 on Sofa Score, not far off. Smarty, Liam Cooper, I've already told you, so we'll skip that one. Diego Llorente.
I thought we were going to get it absolutely nailed on then. Go on, mate.
Llorente.
Oh, short appearance, but I think they'll have probably given him, I'd say 7.9.
Oof, no, 7.1.
Oh, really? I thought you had a cracking game.
Jay, are you in Greece or something? Are you at a Greek wedding?
No, there's just
I don't know. I think
person just banging.
I hope your lass is putting knives and forks and spoons in right trays. Otherwise, there's going to be fucking hell on because I've been listening to it for the last 5 minutes.
Can you ask them to do the dishwasher in 5 minutes, mate?
Yeah,
there's going to be trouble.
Luke Ayling, Jay.
God.
You didn't watch it, did you?
I didn't get to see all of it, so I saw the last part. I'd probably just give him a 7 on basis that I didn't really hear him do all wrong. And I didn't see anything spectacular.
Sofa Score has got Luke Ayling at 8.3 and man of the match.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. He wasn't the best in the first half, so he must have turned it around in the second half.
Yeah. He had a bit of an under the radar solid performance from him.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't hear all bad said about him, but I didn't hear all spectacular. When I watched last part of it, I didn't see him really do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. Just didn't think he'd really get above a 7 for that.
Back to you, Lou and Stewie Dallas.
Just solid 7.5 every time, so I'll stick with that.
Sure.
6.9. I thought that was. He did get booked though.
Okay. Did you get marked down for that?
You're doing my game.
He had a lot of shots off target today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did have a few off target. Smarty Calvin.
Oh God. Booked short game. I'm going probably 6.8.
Oh, 6.9. So close.
Oh.
Jay. Alioski.
God. He were anonymous as well for most of the game, wasn't he? He did have that shot.
He was if he didn't watch it.
Straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it was quite a good game actually.
Yeah, I can't really rate him properly because I didn't see it all. So I'm going to give him 7.4.
7. Back to you, Big Lou, and Jack Harrison.
8.6.
What? You realise we played Southampton tonight, not Burnley.
He still had a good game tonight. He wasn't that good then.
6.6.
Oh, well.
I think that's quite low, actually.
That shows you how much I love Jack Harrison. Then.
The worst performance in the team. He didn't.
Not even when he did that foul early on.
It wasn't a foul. It was a great tackle, actually.
I feel like he had the ball.
He got it against him, didn't he? Whether it were a good tackle or not.
Rodrigo, Smarty. Rodrigo, give me a score.
I'm going 7.3.
Ooh, 7.7. Back to you, Jay. Thomas Brolin. I mean,
Don't think he played.
Brolin's lad. Hey, Brolin's lad. Give us a score.
6.7. Rafinha. I thought he played better than that. I don't know who does these scores, but we need to ring them up.
Southampton.
Seems low. They just seem random.
Big Lou's. Patrick Bamford. Got a goal?
Well, he technically got goal and assist today, so it must be above an 8. So 8.2.
7.4. That's a bit harsh.
Fuck.
And
he's got a
I can only go off what they're telling me here. Pascal Stroik then, Smarty, came on off the bench, 46 minutes.
Pascal Stroik, fairly solid performance. Did he get booked? He did get booked. He fucking wrestled someone. 7.1.
6.7.
So there you go.
J. Gaetano Berardi.
Fucking hell.
10.
6.8.
6.7. You were close. Ooh. And then finally, Luke,
10.
Tyler Roberts. Tyler Roberts.
Tyler.
Okay.
6.8.
You forget about his goal that he had scored all season?
No, I didn't forget. I just thought maybe because he didn't play that long.
He only played 12 minutes, right? And he got 7.2, which is the 7th highest in the team. For playing 12 minutes.
Crazy.
How about SofaScore? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'm never looking at that website again.
Until they become official partners of Ought to Know Better, and then we'll be nice to them.
Yeah, actually, don't. Fuck off.
We've got Chris Thompson in the comments, so I think he's commentating on Olympic diving or something. He's got a fucking 8.8, 8.9, 8.5, 7. Go on, Chris.
Yeah, he has been.
Thanks for your involvement, anyway.
I think he's rating your performance.
That's the 8.8 right at the top, mate. You're struggling there at 6 points.
That'll be me.
Born in Leeds, season ticket holder in the mid-90s, moved to the USA 20 years ago. Whereabouts are you from, Stu? Let us know where you're at in the USA.
Leeds. He's from Leeds, he says that.
Yeah, but he moved to the USA. Whereabouts is he in the USA?
All right.
I hope he lives in.
It's one of them sort of people who, like, you're supposed to read the whole question and just fucking answer straight away, innit?
I'd love it if he lived in that town that had Ken Bates as the mayor.
What you had about the type of guy who reads a quiz and there's 20 questions, answers them all, and then if you read the last question, it says, only do question 1.
Say he's in Connecticut, there you go.
Connecticut.
Oh, good stuff.
And then we got LS14.
No idea where the fuck Connecticut is, but I know how to say it.
Well,
Tony's in Germany.
We've got Germany. Minutes since last piece conceded. 976, over 10 games since we last conceded a set piece.
You hear the commentators talk about it. It's quite a talking point in it. Obviously, one of them's burnout, which is a lot of bollocks. And it's all Leeds always concede from set pieces and corners. Yeah. It's like, well, we haven't done for a fucking Christmas time, you know. Yeah. Well, not Christmas time, but it's bloody January time that we last conceded a set piece. It's a load of bollocks.
I've seen a few highlights of his games. Half a season ago, seen a few highlights. They've seen that we conceded a few from set pieces. We had a problem. We've sorted it out. These people haven't done any research since. They've just seen that, decided that'll be a thing still.
It's terrible, isn't it?
By no research, do you mean not watching the game, Joe?
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what I was saying.
I was really disappointed the other day because I quite like Peter Crouch, and he called Marcelo Marco on BT Sport, and I just felt really let down by it.
Did you want to reach into the TV and punch him in his stupid long neck?
I did.
Carl's not here.
Yeah, I did feel like that. I used to like you.
I used to like you.
Right upsets Carl when
you were my hero.
No, great. Keep the comments coming, guys. I know we won't be on for much longer, so if you've got any questions, get them to us. Luke is on you tonight. Where have you gone?
Yeah, exactly.
He's fresh trim. He's sort of bloody podcast.
You're not on tonight. ASI, you fucked off.
I do apologise, but I'm like this every night. But you probably just don't notice. Maybe I just go a little bit, camouflage and just sink into the background usually, and people just don't notice me. But
you're just a shrinking violet, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, a bit of a chameleon.
That's him.
Background. Not the victim like Jay. Laser scout.
Yeah, right. He gets away with what I let him get away with, pal.
Have you boys actually liked?
Goes.
What pundits have you liked this season that you thought they've done a decent?
Ali McCoist.
Oh,
Ali McCoist.
Anyone who likes us, essentially.
Yeah, anybody who likes it. Ali McCoist, I think, is probably the best pundit on telly, along with Micah Richards.
Yes. Although I will say, when Lucy Ward's covered as well, she's been very good.
I'll tell you
on BT.
Fucking Hasselbank.
I know it's not Sky, but it's sort of same in it, I suppose.
Hasselbank is horrendous, isn't he?
He slays the fuck out of us every time, and I don't know why they get him on for our games. And it's because they know he'll slag us off probably, but he just
Beckford's another good one.
Yeah, Beckford's good.
Yeah, Beckford's good.
Beckford's good.
Beckford starts every sentence with, "I know I'm biased, but we're brilliant."
Yeah, Chris Thompson's in. That's an interesting one. Last comment. That crowd was awful, in my opinion. So quiet, and then leaving early. Won't be like that on Saturday. Did you see halfway through the game when there were a group of women on the phones?
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see that.
Well, you won't have seen it, will you, Jay? Obviously.
No, but obviously
because he was too busy on his phone.
Yeah.
No, actually, I was driving home. Some of us have to work.
So he says.
Pipes had just said, I saw the stats somewhere after the Burnley game. I couldn't find the exact number or source. I think he's talking about the minutes conceded since the last set piece conceded from. So, but that is a lot. That's sort of 10.5 games really with injury time in it. So, it's a long time not to concede.
No, it's since we've sort of strengthened the back with obviously Rente coming into the fold a lot more permanently, and Struick obviously taking up the mantle from Cooper a lot more as well. Especially since obviously Cooper went flying into the City game and got bloody sent off, the dickhead. I think we've been fantastic at back. I think just in summer, obviously the left back's our main target has got to be, and a number 10. We'll see what happens with Roberts. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. I don't really give two shits, to be honest.
Do you want to know a stat? Would anybody like to have a guess how many goals we've conceded since Chelsea in mid-March?
I'm going to say I'll tell you what, Lou, you go first.
It's not a lot, is it? 4?
Jay?
Since Chelsea.
Have you been watching? You watched any games since Chelsea?
Of course I have. Can't remember who we played now. I've gone blank. I'm going to say 3.
I'm going to say 7.
The actual total since mid-March and having played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games is...
Drum roll.
7.
Really? Oh, fucking hell! All right, guess that.
And when he considered that we've played the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Scum, Liverpool, Spurs, we've played some fantastic teams. Well, or some big Super 6 teams that in there that we probably should have conceded that many against in one game, pretty much. That just shows how much we've sort of strengthened in the second half of the season.
I like that comment from Adam. Can we just highlight that comment from Adam right at the bottom, please?
I don't think we need to.
I think we do. You know what? I think we do. I think we just need to see it. Just a little glimpse from Adam right down there. There we go. No, I predicted the score as well tonight, which obviously we'll be covering on the main pod, which is going to be recorded tomorrow.
Hang on, Smarty. Have you zoomed right in? Has your head just got massive?
Mine's nowhere near as massive as yours. I think Luke's just fucking about on the settings, but yes, lads. I don't know who's on tomorrow's pod. Who was it? Jay?
I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. It's probably me, but I ain't looked.
I hope it's not.
Yeah. Whatever.
I hope it's not if you're on.
So well, Lou, do you fancy it? Do you fancy a permanent gig or what?
I'm moving with Jay.
You what, mate?
Big J and Big Lou.
Big J and Big Lou.
That's right. Bigger man than you, pal.
I don't think so. We know how tall you are, pal.
I think so. Told you. You and me are gonna have a wrestle soon.
Hey, do you remember that old advert where they used to get the yellow pages out to get that bird a kiss under mistletoe? He has to do that. He has to do that to get a pot noodle out at top shelf.
No, just don't put him up there.
I've heard that he's been part of extras for the next Star Wars film. They're bringing fucking Ewoks back.
You're a set
Anyway,
of arseholes, aren't you?
His missus has to get his cereal. His missus has to get his
Willy Wonka's
cereal out.
chocolate factory. You twat.
Anyway, his missus has to get it milk out.
Cartoon, you arsehole.
I'm sorry, mate. You started, so I'm going to fucking go in on you.
You can go fuck yourself, you fictional cartoon bastard.
Cartoon bants. Right, I'm going to fucking stop this because it's getting a bit hilarious. Too much fucking comedy. Handle.
Yeah, no worries.
Well,
cheers,
look out for the podcast coming out live tomorrow. Thanks for all as guests tonight, including Lou. Thanks for coming on, pal. So like and subscribe all our channels, which are many of. And thanks for joining us tonight, guys. And we'll see you next time. Stay safe. All the best.
Adios.